Brahmacharya means you did nothing. You allowed your life to happen, just the Creator made you. You don't make anything out of it. To be on the path of Brahman or the Creator, just to be His way, not your way. Brahmacharya means simply just being life, just to live the way you were born. You do that much activity, when you go to bed, you don't have a moment, you fall like you're dead.
Today we are reacting to a very powerful video by Sadhguru talking about Brahmacharya. There are particular types of videos by Sadhguru where you watch them, you can just feel the energy, the prana. Not all Sadhguru's videos are like this, but this one is just exquisite quality. Let's watch.
Brahmacharya means to be like the breeze. That is, you don't stick to anything. It's going everywhere, we don't know where it's coming from right now. Just cross the oceans and come, here it is. It just keeps going. Brahmacharya means simply just being life, just to live the way you were born. Alone. Even if your mother happened to bear twins, you still were born alone. A very close association with the Divine. Just to live like that. Brahmacharya is not a great step. Just to exist as life is. Marriage is a great step. You're trying to do something very big. At least people believe so. Brahmacharya means you did nothing. You allowed your life to happen, just the Creator made you. You don't make anything out of it. To be on the path of Brahman or the Creator, just to be His way, not your way. Marriage, you get married thinking it's going to be your way, but it's going to be somebody else's way. So Brahmacharya means just His way, the way He made you, just to be like that. No step. If you don't do anything, you're a Brahmachari. But there is sadhana, there is other disciplines. What is that about? That is just to help you to stay like that, because once you picked up material from this planet, once you pick up substance from this planet, the qualities of this planet will enter you and try to rule you. One basic quality of once you pick up earth is, there is something called as inertia. So, to be in the path of the Divine means not to give in to the way of the earth. One thing is inertia, another thing is a compulsive movement. If you pick up a piece of this earth, you become like the earth. It tries to take you in circles. Cyclical movement is the basis of everything that you call as physical in the universe. The physical can exist only if it is cyclical. Brahmacharya means you don't want to succumb to the cyclical movement, because a Brahmachari has realized that the world can do without him, so he doesn't want to come back. See, cycle means if you move in a circle, however large the circle is, you come back, isn't it? Even if you're not invited. Yes or no? Once you're on a circular path, invariably you will come back. We don't know whether people want you or not, whether the world wants you or not, but you'll anyway come back because you're in a circle. So those who have realized that they're not really wanted around here, they want to be on a straight straight path, the path of the divine, not the planetary trajectory. So, to see that you do not succumb to the ways of the planet, because if you're identified with this, you are just a piece of the planet. Everything that you have is borrowed from this planet and it will rule you from within. So one takes on to brahmacharya instead of as a natural process, as a path, as a discipline, so that they don't get into cyclical motion of life. They don't want to succumb to this. On and on and on, the same things happen. So, what does it involve? If you're very conscious, it involves nothing. Very simple. You wake up every day in the morning like you were born. You go to sleep like you would die. In between, whatever is useful to everybody you do, because you still not reached a place where you can exist without activity. You need to do something. The idea is that activity should be never about you. Because if the activity is about you, you will pile up entanglement. So you constantly do activity which is not about you. You do that much activity, when you go to bed, you don't have a moment, you fall like you're dead. When you wake up, before the birds get busy. Rest will be taken care of by grace. Need not do too much because we invest a certain amount of energy to manufacture a brahmachari. Actually, it shouldn't be necessary. If they simply didn't do anything, they would be there. But the ways of the earth rule from within, because after all, you can't keep your body down. It has memory, it's a huge karmic pile. So it has its tendencies. To go beyond these tendencies, which are not natural to your being, but it is like… because this vehicle tends to go like this. Suppose you are driving a car and it has a little alignment problem, it keeps pulling like that. You have to straighten it, otherwise it'll go. This is just like that. This has an alignment problem. It always wants to go like this. Once it bends, it's just a question of time before it completes the circle. But because it is taking a certain period of time and one's awareness is not in any great place, every time you pass the same spot, it looks like a new place. It will. If you sat here in the afternoon, the same place where you're sitting, the whole place would look different if it's sunny and in a different way. Now you sit, it looks different. Come at 12 in the night and sit down, it looks different. So you think you come to a different place every time. But no, it's just a question of time, season and short memory. Because of a certain mathematic involved in the movement of the planet, generally your cycles are little over 12 years. Same spot you keep hitting. Most people don't even realize. It's not lifetime to lifetime, that is also there. But within this life, every 12.5 years you're going through a cycle. Most people never even notice it, that the same things are happening.
Let me briefly pause here and say that that's absolutely true. I can't tell you how many times that I've experienced the same thing happening to me, and I'm realizing this is just a cycle completing itself. Every 3 months, 3 years, 6 years, these things happen, these things come back. And yeah, it's absolutely true. So let's continue.
Most people, 99.9% of people don't notice. Very few people notice the same situations, and both physiological, psychological and outside situations, similar things are coming by. If you're little hyper, it will come every 6 years. If you're a little more hyper, it'll come every 3 years. Much more hyper, it'll come once in 18 months. Much more hyper, it'll come once in 3 months. If it comes below 3 months, you shouldn't be here, you should be in a mental asylum. Yes, if your cycles are less than 3 months, for sure, you're dangerous for yourself and everybody around you. You should be in an asylum. Because your cycles are so short, you will become volatile, dangerously volatile. So, whether you're doing a 12-year cycle or you're doing a 3-month cycle, it's just the difference is only question of percentages of madness, isn't it? If you're doing 3-month, everybody can see that you're mad. If you're doing 12-year cycles, people don't make out, but you know. If you're sincere, you know you're crazy. If you're straight with yourself, you clearly know you're crazy. Only thing is, because it's 12.5 years or so, you can fool the world that you're okay. If I want you to all…
Let me pause again. Sorry for interrupting. But yes, when I first heard about this from Sadhguru talking about cycles, I physically, viscerally felt this. That sometimes things come to me every 3 years, every 6 years, every couple of months, I'm repeating the same cycle. And the shorter the cycle, the more intensity, the more manic and chaotic you are. And then he said the longest cycle is 12.5 years realistically, because that's the cycle of the sun, making a rotation or flipping its poles or whatever, something happening. 12 years, 12.25, 12.5 years. And that made me feel so cool and so good. And I made it a conscious process for me to look at the sun, look at the sun's energy, attune myself to the sun's energy, and see how I can align myself with the sun so that I can spin in the longest possible way, so that it's naturally the most comfortable. Because if you're rotating around Venus or Pluto or Mercury, one of these smaller planets, the rotation is so fast, you're going so fast. But if you're rotating around the sun, it's way longer, because the sheer mass of the sun and how large it is. So this is just a simple explanation. So you want to have long cycles. And also Sadhguru says that the longest possible cycle in our solar system is 144 years, which is like the Saturn return or something, I don't really know, but it rings true within my body. So every 144 years, a new cycle starts, and you're on to the next cycle, which is 144 years. Anyways, let's continue.
I want you to look at this. Sincerely look at yourself. Don't worry about the social impact. You don't have to admit it to anybody. Okay, within yourself, aren't you quite insane? Don't have to say anything. You don't have to admit it in front of people. But I want you to sincerely look at this. If you're sincere and straight about yourself, you know you're quite off. If you've admitted this to yourself, you want to fix it. But you've become so much of a social being, how you are doesn't matter, how you look is all that matters to you. Then you can go on. Many lifetimes you can go on. How you are matters to you, your being has become very important for you, not what somebody thinks about you. It is not another person's opinion which is crafting your life, it is the nature of your being. If that happens, you will naturally be on the path of the divine. You will want to be there, there is no other way.
Let me quickly reflect back on some things that Sadhguru says. Sadhguru said that brahmacharya is like not doing anything, doing nothing. And I understood this from an early age when I started meditating, that the master meditator is just not doing anything. He's an expert at doing nothing. Nothing means you can still do stuff, but you're doing nothing inside. You just left this body alone, left this mind alone. If you're driving a car, I don't want to drive anymore. Just take the steering wheel off and go not to sleep. Don't do that, it's bad. But that's the analogy of this. You just let it go. It's okay. It's okay. Let your mind do what it wants, your body do what it wants. Let this be life. Don't mess around with your mind too much. The more you mess around with your mind, the more misery and suffering you're going to cause yourself. So you just let go, relax, and life starts to flower through you. And as life starts to flower through you, you become godlike, divine, a brahmacharya, which is, the literal translation is somebody that's on the path to the divine, or someone that's on the path to the creator. Brahma means the creator, origin. So what else needs to be said? Yeah, cycles, I've talked about that. And Sadhguru's energy is phenomenal, fantastic. Sadhguru once mentioned that he's going to disappear when the right time comes, whenever he feels it's old enough for him to not be around anymore, and he wants to go, leave to another planet, we can say, or dissolve, whatever. He will, he won't need 4 people to carry his casket somewhere. He'll carry himself wherever he needs to go. And also, he won't even leave a body. Can you imagine that? Can you believe that? Can you hear what I'm saying? He won't leave a body. What does that mean? Not he's gonna go and do something physical. But there is a way to disintegrate your matter, to fall out of the existence, or to make your matter disentangle from the physical glue, or to unglue the physical matter, how it's holding together. And this, you just float away. Like, there's a scene in the Avengers movies when the guy does this, clasps his fingers, and people just disappear. They turn into ash. Like that. That's what Sadhguru is going to do, and he's going to disappear. How? Why? Well, because he's a yogi. So I love watching this man. I think it's so phenomenal, fantastic, fascinating. I want to be just like that. I want to have all the capabilities that he has. And I for sure have way better guidance now than if I were to do this 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago or whatever. Because Sadhguru is available to me 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I could just go watch a video, tune into his energy. This video's energy was profound, powerful, so pranic. Can you feel that? Yes, I'm sure you feel better watching this video. And so we have the best guidance. Sadhguru had to struggle and strive and suffer miserably for 2, 3, 4 lifetimes. I don't know how long it took him to do this. And then finally, some guy tapped him on the shoulder, like, "Hey, don't worry about it. Just chillax." And he realized everything. I'm oversimplifying, of course, but the point is still the same. That it took him such a long time to figure out what doesn't work. Finally, to build enough karma, or however way, whatever how it worked, for his guru to come and find him and handle all the rest. So now my striving to where Sadhguru is now is so much easier. I don't have to go through any of the pitfalls that he had to go through. All the heartbreaking sadhana which he did, well, I didn't do any heartbreaking sadhana. I didn't do any heartbreaking spiritual practice like he did in his previous lifetimes. But I did experience some of that in this lifetime, because just not knowing what I'm doing. Don't have any guidance, don't have any teacher, nobody pointing me in the right direction. And suffered miserably as a result and the consequence. Why? I didn't know what I was doing. But now, thankfully, I do know what I'm doing. That's the wrong thing to say, but hey. At least that's what I feel like. No, I do. It's dangerous to say you know what you're doing, because you never know what you're doing. But at least the pain inside of my mind is gone, and pleasure and happiness and joy and peace and equanimity is there, replaced that, and I'm in a much better state off. So this is very appropriate that Kailash is right beside me here, right behind me. I'm in Kailash. Hello, Kailash. And yeah, that's it. If you want to work with me face to face, one-on-one, change your life however you want yourself to be, we can make that happen for you. You go to shivakailash.com, and whatever expertise that I've gained in my life, I can transfer it over to you, and I can help you out. So shivakailash.com is the place to be. So that's it. Thank you to Sadhguru. Thank you to Kailash. Thank you for all the great wise masters. Thank you to Shiva. And thank you to these 2 individuals that you see walking around in this beautiful place. Anyways, that's it, my friends. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Goodbye.